Hey guys, Zach here again. Module number 2, the path to a six-figure venture. As you remember, module 1 was the overview and introduction. You found out what to expect in the course, how to use the course, and really just the ways that you can use the course to start your business in just a few simple days. Today, we're going to go over what kind of business should you start. And you may have an idea. You may have a business idea already, or you may have already done some things for your business. Well, guess what? You can go on and skip this module if you want, but here's why you shouldn't. Because maybe your idea isn't, maybe you aren't thinking about your ideas in the ways that we have gone through our modules, and there's going to be a ton of information that you can use to not only find ways to find new businesses to start, but other ways that you can target, other ways to communicate and educate with your potential customers. So today we are excited because we're going to figure out, do you want to have a B2B or a B2C? You probably hear a lot, do I? And so for those of you who don't know, B2B is business to business and B2C is business to consumer. Yes, there are other types of businesses, but for this module, we think it's important for us to just go over these two because it's the easiest for us to explain to you and understand what we mean. So, consumer versus, or B2C versus B2B. The psychology behind the way that consumers spend money compared to businesses spend money is completely different. Think about the last time you had a business expense and it was over $50. It was pretty easy for you to make that transaction, wasn't it? But think about the last time you were on Amazon or on any kind of e-commerce site or at any kind of shopping mall and something was $50 for you personally. Did you make the transaction on the business? And did you make the transaction when you're at the shopping mall as a consumer? I bet you 9 times out of 10 that as the consumer, you question it a lot more than you do as the business. As a business expense, it makes total sense. As a consumer product, you question, you say, well, maybe I don't need that. But as a business, you can see how you're going to grow and make money off of it. So be thinking about, who is buying this? Is it for the consumer or is it for the business? Why are they buying this? Is it to grow their business, or is it just because, it's the next big thing and I want to buy it and I'm a consumer and that's cool? Also, what is the total purse that people are spending to do this? As a business, typically you're going to have a business budget, or a team is going to have a business budget to produce this. They also probably have a sales team that are going to need business tools to move forward and to grow their business. A consumer only has the money that they're bringing in. They're not looking at the ROI the same way a business is. So if you're going to build a consumer-based business, be sure to be thinking about who is going to use this, how they're going to use this, why they're going to use it. And here's a great example going over this. Consumer businesses are typically at a lower rate and need more buys, more purchases, more transactions to hit that specific goal number. Businesses typically have a higher rate and less is needed to hit the goal number. So let's use this as an example. Let's say you're going for $1,000 total dollars. A consumer is going to be priced at $5 per transaction, and a business is going to be at $25 per transaction. The math on the consumer is 1,000 divided by 5 is equal to 200 customers, and a business, the transaction is going to be 1,000 divided by $25, which is equal to 40 total customers. Is it easier for you to get 200 customers or 40 customers? I want you to answer that question for me. We're not saying to go one way or the other, just letting you know that typically businesses, because of the way they do business, they have more money to spend on the growth of their company and ROI. So if you want to build a consumer-based product or service, just be thinking that you're going to need to get in front of even more people than if you go to a business who is going to be willing and able to spend that money in a far different type of way. So there's 10 ways that we've gone through, and these are 10 things that you can do today to find an idea. And you don't need to take notes. We'll have all the slides below so that you can take them, and we'll all so that you'll be able to download these and go through them step by step when you're going through the course. 10 ways to find an idea. Do you have 5 friends? Just wondering. Think about it. Who are 5 friends that you can ask? Email and ask 5 friends what their pain is. Just ask and see what they are. See what they're currently going through and the products that they use to use that product. Is there a pain point that they're currently going through that they would be willing to pay to fix it? Just do it right now. I'll wait for you. Pull up your email client. Email 5 friends. What is currently your pain point that you're going through? All right. Next thing, it could be this is something that I think is great. Widgets on top of already existing platforms. So we have here. It doesn't matter. It could be Facebook and an app on top of that. It could be Salesforce. Don't try and recreate the wheel of trying to find all those users. Try and find ways that you can leverage already existing marketplaces, already existing platforms, and develop a tool that people are looking for on top of that tool. Does that make sense? So Facebook opened up their API so that developers could create games on it. And guess what? Facebook's making that money off of it. The same thing for Amazon and their Kindles. Now they can sell products on there and they have the customers so that you don't have to. Same thing with Salesforce. How can you leverage other people's platforms and develop a widget as a business tool for them? Message boards. There is a ton of information on message boards, figuring out what people are looking for and what the challenges that they're going through are. What I recommend is being very vague to start, and then going in and saying, okay, this is what people are looking for. So type business applications or how-to examples. These are great ways that you can go through and take a message board, like a current message board that's out there, and figuring out what people are going through with those problems. Like I said, I recommend finding the broad topic and then searching those topics, figuring out where people are complaining the most about the tools that they're using, and then dive into those niches and start researching and start finding out where people are complaining the most about the products that are being used. Number 4, Quora. I was on Quora yesterday. It is a great source to not only get your questions answered by other people, but also for other people to answer your questions and for you to research those questions out there. So if you have, how does a B2B differ from a B2C? That question will come up almost, and it's all crowdsourced information. And so you have experts all across the board that are answering those things, and you find out where people's true pain points are and true challenges are in their day-to-day lifestyles. Number 5, Twitter search. This is a great tool that you're able to see where things are going on. Now, with a lot of these things, what you'll see is that you need to go deeper, and all this isn't necessarily going to be the easiest thing in the world. What you have to do is you do have to do some research. You do have to go through, and you have to find out where people are having challenges. That's what we're looking for here. How can you leverage already existing platforms and figure out where people are struggling and having challenges? Facebook business groups. This one is amazing to me because it's similar to your LinkedIn business group, but if you start adding yourself to groups that are in the sort of industries that you want to, and see how people are communicating and talking and finding their challenges, what you'll find is that several of these individuals and several of these companies have huge problems that they need to be fixed and are willing to do whatever they can to fix these. So Facebook business groups, also the LinkedIn groups, have been tremendous ways for us to find out what challenges people currently have in their businesses and day-to-day lives. So go to these group pages and figure out and search the topic of your choice. If you're in mechanical engineer, type mechanical engineering groups. You will find them. If you're looking at building a consumer application, type consumer applications. If you're looking for Salesforce for dummies, look for Salesforce. You will find different ways that people can develop information to give to you in return for money. What are the pain points and the problems that people are currently going through that need these problems and challenges to be solved? I'm sure you're in a city. And or a community that has a chamber of commerce. You may or may not be a member. That's okay. Simply go to the Chamber of Commerce's website in your community or across the board. If you don't think you're going to be a local company, maybe you're going to be a national or a regional company, and go to their events calendar. See what type of events that they are producing for their members. And then go and take some of the other topics that we gave you before, some of the first 6 topics, Facebook groups, Quora, the message boards, and type in those type of topics. If you can't figure out what words to use, let the Chamber of Commerce is money, business, let the Chamber of Commerce do that legwork for you, and then go back to those other groups online and figure out what people are talking about. This one is amazing. And it's something that I might actually even build a site this year just so people know what I'm Googling this year. So Google how to whatever you need the answer to. Whether it's how to start a website, how to start a blog, how do I start my business? How do I create a Facebook group? Look at these 4 interesting stuff. How to get rid of fruit flies. How to tie a tie. How to get rid of fleas, how to screenshot on a Mac. These are all things that people are challenged with, and Google is answering them for you, but they might need more steps than just what Google How To is. Number 9, target an industry and create a focus group on the tools that are needed. Now this, you can leverage all these other ones together. Same thing with the chamber. So if there was a group of people that were talking about a specific challenge, why don't you go and ask those people and basically ask them the question, what are the tools that are missing in your day-to-day business lifestyles? What are the tools missing in your day-to-day personal lives that you guys would like to have? And finally, create a tool to solve your business pain. Maybe you're currently in business and you are struggling day to day and you need to have a tool created for you to make your life a lot easier. Now, like I said, these are 10 quick and easy ways for you to figure out what business you may want to start. And hopefully, like the image that's in this slide, that's not you with your head taken off your shoulders. So quickly, to recap, the psychology of buying is something that you need to be thinking about. Businesses are spending more money per transaction than consumers are. Who is buying? Why are they buying? And remember, the total purse is higher per transaction on a business typically than from a consumer. Remember, we went over the specifics of the $1,000 model. A consumer at an average of $5 per transaction, you need to have 200 customers, where if you have a business at $250 per transaction, that's only 40 customers. 10 ways to figure out what type of business idea you should do. Email and ask 5 friends. A business tool widget add-on. Check out message boards, Quora, searching Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn business groups. Leverage your Chamber of Commerce. Whether or not you're a member or not, the majority of the information is already online. Take that to the bank and use it to your advantage. Go to Google and search how, target industry focus groups, and create a tool that is solving your own business or personal pain points. So, up next is customer discovery. You guys are through the first part of module number 2. You're crushing it. And I'm excited to give you customer discovery because that's coming up next. If you need more information on this, simply download the slides. Until then, we'll see you at the customer discovery module.